looks like I'm actually live. Yippee. Yeah. My video keeps like, whenever I like open up OBS, my camera keeps like doing strange stuff for some reason, so I always have to like readjust it. So that's why it's like not consistent. But yeah. Anyway. Um, hello all, hello stream. This is day 9 of studying compilers until I land a compiler role. And today I want to, I guess, do the LeetCode daily for real this time. Oh, because yesterday I didn't get to do it since I started stream a little bit late. And then the rest of the time will be mostly dedicated towards working on Kaleidoscope. So the big thing I want to do is I want to finish the main loop, especially for CodeGen. I guess I should change this. And then after that, I want to extend it a little bit, just so it's a little bit more usable. Because currently the way it runs is it's kind of like a just like any other sort of terminal program where there's like an input loop, and that's a little bit annoying. So I might add an option for it to just like take a file input and call it a day. And then aside from that, I want to do a little bit of hand testing, just like make sure that everything runs as intended. So yeah, I guess I will get started on LeetCode then. Yeah, also if you're following along, I did in fact do yesterday's daily. Let me get this pulled up again. What's it called? Problems. I remember the number at least. 24 game. Yeah, this one was a little bit annoying. The nice thing is that since there's only 4 numbers in each input, the solution is constant time complexity, since you'll just always have to iterate through everything. The only annoying thing is just like having to actually do the backtracking work, or like the manual iteration by hand. And like that gets a little bit annoying, but like sure. Like yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that was yesterday's problem. Not gonna spend too much time dwelling on it. Yeah, it was a little bit terse, but that's how it goes. Okay. Number of 0 filled subarrays. Ooh, okay. Okay. So we can do some fun stuff here. I could probably do this in one pass, honestly. What are these? What is the topics? Is it just okay? Yeah, we can do this in a pretty lazy way, I think. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. The fact that it's a long concerns me a little bit. Let's see. What are the hints? Oh yeah, okay. So we'll just do this a little bit quickly. I don't think it's that interesting to talk through any of it. So I'll be a little bit quiet, I think. Do we even need pointers for this? Can I just do this with a for each? Yeah, I can actually. Oh, what? Okay. Oh, we can do this in one line instead of splitting up. Prefix increment. I usually do postfix, so I'm not really used to doing it like this for some reason. Okay, I mean that was that was really slow. Wait. Just start doing LeetCode in C++? Yeah, low key. It's kinda miserable. What did the fast people do? I don't get it. So int is I think almost always I think int is always 32-bit, and long is depending on the hardware. I think depending on the hardware, long is either 32-bit or 64-bit, but long is guaranteed 64-bit if I remember correctly. 15 minutes on a code signal, missing a test case of long. That's tough, man. It happens. Actually, there was a nice little chart somewhere. No, it's not this. Wait, no, it was this, I think. Running through LeetCode? No, I'm kind of just doing the daily every day and calling it a day. Yeah, this is the chart. So if we see here, so there is like a literal like minimum size just by the C++ standard, but the actual size depends on the actual architecture, I think. Although I guess it is interesting that int and long kind of end up being the same a lot. Bottom line, just use long. Just use long and just use int, and just say no to long. That's pretty much the short version. And then I guess if you need to use short. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So what's the fast way of doing this? My solution is quite slow apparently. What am I missing? Oh, I see. I think they just like go across the thing instead of just adding every time. There has to be something with just like literally adding less. Shortcut it with an unlikely on the if. Is that a thing? Oh, that's a thing? Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, we have to like iterate through everything anyway. It probably is this branch that's... Or maybe this continue is like being annoying. I can't really tell at a glance at least. What if I just resubmit it and call it a day? Will it run faster? It does! Wait. Wait, there's no way. There's no code formatter on LeetCode? Unlucky. That is faster. Wow. Wait. Why is swapping them faster? Let's ask chat. Close that. That's not the right button. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But also, why? That doesn't... Oh, I guess that makes sense, actually. Maybe I put in Godbolt. See what happens. Let's turn Vim on. That was the faster one. This is the slower one. Right. Oh wait, other way around. This one's... Oh no. Okay, so it's in my clipboard. We're just gonna recopy it from here. Oh, this is not relative line numbers. This is really annoying. We need to make some small changes here. Oh. What? Oh, wait. What do I need to pass in as estimate LLVM? Okay. Where's the output window? Oh. Whoops. I'm used to Rust flags. Interesting. Okay, we're actually gonna do it the other way. I've made myself a little playground to do this. Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's get rid of the prefix on these. So we can actually change it to a CPP file. So we make -O0, I think, for now. Make O0. Make. Okay, first try. Let's take a look at this. Oh, is it limiting dead code? Is that what's happening actually? Let's make a quick little input array. Oh, I need to comma separate it. Whoops. I should put this here. Okay. Does this work now? Okay. Okay. Okay, this is still not vomiting out code. For better or for worse. Why isn't that outputting code? Let's just get rid of this mess. There we go. Okay. Okay. Is there a way to demangle these again? LLVM demangle. C++ filter. Is this just base LVM? Oh, it is. LVM debug. What's the debug flag again? Clang debug flag. -G. Let's add this here. Let's put it here actually. Does this have readable form again? Well, not really, but okay, I think a lot of this is vector related stuff. What if I just get rid of the vector stuff in here? What's in here? Okay, well, it just doesn't let me know. That's fair enough. Let's try to read through this in some degree. Let's move this away. Sure. This is the faster one. It's the best way to compare these. This is the... Okay, I'm gonna demangle this. This is annoying to read. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that's literally the signature. I guess I probably should have figured that out, but so be it. So this is the slower one, and we're comparing it to the faster one, which is right here. We're just gonna deal with hard time.nvim right now. Okay. So I guess without opt, this does output the same code, which makes sense. So what if we make 03? Yeah, okay, we're slowly clawing our way up the thing physically. Okay. I can't lie, nothing looks different other than like a couple of numbers. Oh, right, this is... Perhaps these labels are different, huh? Let's have this to compare. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just a branch prediction thing for all I know. I don't think looking at this is going to get me that much more progress. I think it is literally just branch prediction. Yeah, okay. I'm sufficiently satisfied by that explanation. Is this a thing? I guess that makes sense. Okay, well, bottom line, we found the fast way to do it. So, yeah. So I guess now we'll move on to the actual substantive work that isn't just LeetCode. Yeah. What's the best way to? We'll just do that to mark it. I don't know. So kaleidoscope. So where were we at last time? We had a giant compile mess, I think. I think make ran properly. Yeah. And this does technically like link, but the problem is even though it links if we add, I guess it doesn't like, yeah, it's our fault. And the reason for this was, I think we just didn't build out enough of the infrastructure, I think. So here we have like the main loop here, and it's like mostly functional, but I think I just haven't implemented some of this is the problem. So where would this be? The parser. Parser? I think there are some things that just aren't initialized yet. Yeah, here, the to-dos. So there's this one and then there's that one. So the dump is like the actual print. And then the stuff in the initialization is related to, in the AST we have a couple of class constants that are declared but never actually they're never actually initialized to a value. So yeah, I think we could just initialize this somewhere up here. How does, I guess a good place to check what we're doing is in the actual code listing here. In its main loop, how does it initialize things? As in, does it initialize it once, or does it do it once per loop / per cycle? It looks like it's just once. So, okay, neat. My cool jit, nice. So we need to make these things actually things. It looks like. And then name values I think is default initialized. Oh yeah, these aren't initialized because they're unique pointers. That's why. So we need to set those here. Actually, no, we can just have a static static method here. Void. Let's have this be a thing. And then yeah, okay. And then we can just take the stuff that happens here and just put it in here. So, and then here we need to call AST, wait, just initialize module. So yeah, context equals, we make unique. And that's sufficient, supposedly. And then, do we need to make builder? Yes, we do. But we need to make the, oh, we already made the context, so we can just do it here, I think. Make unique LLVM IR builder. We pass in context. And then module is the only other thing we need to make. What params does this take? What could this possibly take? What is an LLVM module? I should probably know this. A module stores info. Okay, great definition. This does not help me. This does not help me one bit. This helps me a little bit more, actually. Okay, bet. We'll just... Never mind the typo there. Stood. Not stood. LLVM. Okay, we're doing great out here. I think that's all we need for initializing it, though. So... So this matters in the parser loop. So that calls initialize module. We don't need to call it in here, actually. It just occurred to me. So we can even get rid of this. And then... No, we still need that. Wait, no, we still need... So we still need to keep the constructor so that we pass in the Elixir something about dependency injection. We don't need to initialize it here. We can just do this in the... This is bottom of parser? No. It's here. Here? No, compiler. Silly. Silly me. Oh, it's here. So we make the parser. We get token. And then before running, we have to... we need to include AST to find initialize module. Yeah, there we go. And then the only other thing we're missing, I think, is dump IR. I think. Right? It was not this file. It was here. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? What's the best way to handle it? How does it dump here? At least that'd be important. Just prints from the module. Okay. Okay, well, if we don't need this in the parser, then we can just do this directly in the AST. Other way around. If we can do this directly in the AST, we don't need to do this in the parser. So we can just call it here. So we print to errors, and then no pointer. I should probably look up this. So prints 2 errors and assembly annotation writer. What does this thing do? Interface that allows clients of the assembly writer to add custom annotations. Okay, sure. Oh, wait, okay. I recognize this now. Yeah, in here, for instance, if we look in one of these output files, it's like this line here. This is just an annotation. Or if we go to one of these basic blocks, over here, the predecessors. That makes sense. Okay. So that should be fine, right? LLVM errors. Then we need to take this. We need to put this somewhere up here. Let's put it after, probably. Yeah. Replace this with dump IR. So in theory, this should work now. Okay, builds and links. That's a good start. All right. Let's steal some test cases from the part 2 when we first built the parser in the AST. There's some basic functions here. All right. Okay, nice. So it calls that, it adds, and it returns. Okay. Okay. Ah, right. Yeah, that's the problem because it doesn't clear every time. Defu2. Unknown variable name. I also just remembered there were literal tests at the bottom of this that we can take a look at. So maybe I'll use those. Oh, it just occurred to me parsed is not the right word for this anymore. So let's change that real quick. And this is in parser. How many times does this show up? Just those 3. Let's do a quick find and replace. Actually, let's clean up Git real quick. So let's add that back. Then what do? We fix, not fix. We change parse to read in main loop. Does make work? Do we literally add everything by hand? Yeah, we do. Okay, nice. Yeah, I thought I globbed, which means I would have to clean and then rebuild, but this works. I can't really complain. Let's run this. Yeah, that worked, I think. So we're gonna run that. Let's compare. Find double. It actually adds numbers. That's nice. And the LLVM ecosystem is quite nice as someone who hasn't worked with it a lot. It just does so many things. I suppose that's the entire point, but you know. This function will take a long time to execute if you call it. Does this work? It looks like it works. Okay, neat. And then if I break this, then that prints everything. Right? Does it? Yeah, it does. Nice module ID. Interesting. Oh yeah, this one was the one at the top that I didn't put in here. Okay. So that is technically like this section done, but I wanna check one other thing. There was this little bug here. I wanna see if this is resolved. Okay, it looks like it works properly. No. There we go. Okay. Okay. And then it keeps it properly, so that does what we want it to. Let me check how this print's ready. Because this is printing it a lot for some reason. I'm not completely seeing why. So I do call this by hand once here. And then I also call it, I think, in the main loop. Yeah. This looks like it should be fine at least. I mean, sure, I guess. Well, good news is I guess it runs. And it runs correctly, which is the big thing. Part of me wants to try and figure out how to set up G-test just from a pedagogical perspective, but honestly, I don't really feel like doing that. I guess what else is there? File input. Honestly, I initially wanted to do this just as like a way to test this faster, but after just like stepping through this, yeah, after stepping through this a little bit, I feel like that's a little bit less necessary. I kind of want this dump to be in a nicer place that isn't just like tail end of this. So maybe I'll make it print out to another file. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so this is done. This is done. We're gonna change this to file output. Keep syncing. I'm in a Tmux window. Maybe I should put that in a Tmux window. That would make my life a little bit easier. Future problem. So I'm actually quite rusty with figuring out file in and output, so I suppose this is good practice for me in that regard. Where does fprintf come from? c_std.io. Yeah, let's look at the c_stdlib. Or c headers. This is something that I am curious about. Was just looking through this tutorial, a lot of just base C functions are used, but the entire LLVM ecosystem is pretty much C++. And like it's only C compatible insofar as it uses it only uses C insofar as insofar as C++ is a superset of C. So like for instance, instead of using like C out or like C error and then like the double arrow operator, it just uses fprintf. And I'm trying to understand why it uses this rather than I guess rather than just using the C++-esque way. But Google doesn't seem to be getting the question I'm asking. I also could just be like completely wrong about how much of LLVM is in C++ for what it's worth. And if you know anything about it, please do correct me. Yeah. Traditional C-style headers into global namespace. Okay, well this doesn't help me either. This easily explains why I shouldn't use like the direct C style header. But I'm still not sure why use the C++ version other than just like people are comfortable with it. In which case, like, fair enough. So let's ask good old chat. In the same boat, currently working in ML AI compilers field. That's pretty neat. At one point I really wanted to get into it, and then I realized ML is like low-key not for me. Yeah, good to see someone else that's in the, I guess, same general realm. So this example was I use fprintf instead of oh, interesting. I see. Yeah, just like tensor compiler land, to my understanding. I remember seeing like that one article everyone pointed to. It's like this one. And like I kind of looked through it. At one point I really wanted to do it. I'm still quite open to it because I'm still very much just figuring out what the field looks like, but I guess my big fascination currently is just more in general purpose computing land. Faster, interesting. Interesting, okay. Maybe I should look into LLVM codebase proper. Oh, that's... There we go. First try. That's a good place to look. I guess Clang. Instead of taking source code as input like traditional compilers, it takes in a saved ML model, then optimizes it and produces a binary. That's really cool, actually. I imagine there is just factually a lot that I don't know about it. What kind of jobs are you looking for? I'm hoping to eventually land something that allows me to just directly work on LLVM proper. Whether that be at like Apple or Google or Meta. I guess like that is also kind of an open question to myself. But for now, just anything that lets me work on I guess pretty much just like the mainstream general purpose compilers as opposed to more specific accelerator style applications. Unfortunately, I'm still quite at an entry level, so that means A, I don't know a lot yet, which is, I guess, the entire reason I'm streaming and doing all of the stuff on stream. And B, I'm kind of hard-pressed to find any semblance of a compiler position to begin with. I still have like 1 summer of internship. I'm going into 4th year, but I'm taking an extra quarter, so I can also end up with a master's. So I have realistically 1 more internship summer, and then I'm just looking for full-time after that. So it's quite turbulent, but I'll make it through. Hopefully. Thank you, appreciate it. This is test is probably the worst place to look. Maybe in the libraries. This is probably safe. Crypto. I guess that caught my eye. Oh, this doesn't help. This is all preprocessor slush. Let's look at the parse. Aha. And it only includes... Okay. This is not helping me at all. C-Stdio. Okay. So it is just like LLVM broadly. And the memory is for the pointer wrapper classes. It's called again. Unique pointer. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Is this real? I guess it makes sense because I low-key prefer that style, but I guess this is actually quite fair. Oh yeah, assert is a thing. Forgot about that. think the only one of these I've used is C type here, or C student. Yeah. In my personal compiler project. Let's see. It's a good place to look. Not here. Oh, probably type, huh? No? Okay. Surely there's something in here. No? Oh, yeah, UN64. Yeah. I should probably familiarize myself with more of these just in general. Not even just from like a working with LLVM perspective, but literally just to become a better programmer. Oh, it's C type. There we go. It's C type. I guess that makes sense. Error number. Floating point. More floating point. Int types. Oh, interesting. Wait, this one doesn't caught my eye. Until C++20. Compatibility. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I guess a lot of this makes sense. I only recently learned why locales are a thing. Which sounds like really silly, but I feel like it's just never taught formally in a college education most of the time. Oh yeah, this is a good example of one that I would want to look up. Why C math over... Yeah. It's really scary that ChatGPT is picking up on the way that I like speak. So whenever like I talk about a domain, I say that land. So like C++ land, Rust land, compiler land. And earlier there was another one that was a little bit like, There was compiler land again. Yeah, it was that sort of. That's a little bit unnerving. Where was I? I guess that makes sense. Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense actually. Okay, neat. Alright, I think that's all of the learning about that I want to do for now. So now back to the actual thing I wanted to work on that I guess prompted this question, which is I guess printing to a file. So let's we put this in compiler. I don't know. Let's make this void. Oh wait, no, we don't want to use that. Yuck. Because we're using the C headers. C file IO. Let's say no to Geeks for Geeks whenever possible. fopen. Okay, so we need c_std.io. We have c_std.io. fopen. Oh, okay. Of all things that I'm drawing a connection to here, Python should not be the one, and yet Python is the one that I'm drawing a connection to here. So fopen, file name, and then we want this to write. Oh, right, because this is not a C string. It's a char star. Yeah, there we go. Returns a pointer. We're doing 1. Is there a way to make CPP reference dark? I'm getting like full blinded by the page. If that's a null pointer, then yeah, okay. So if this fails, then we want to print an error. What do we want to print? We'll just be boring. And then do we want to replace whatever dump IR is? Maybe we just say no to putting this here actually. IR to file her. Dump IR to file. Let's, what do we call this? Kaleidoscope.ll. Let's change it here as well. Yeah. And I'm very used to putting the star on the type because that made more intuitive sense to me, but I have since learned that that is in fact not the right way to go about it. 18. No. Okay, first try. Did a little bit of finagling. Let's add that here. Does LLVM have a file? Or does it have a function for this? Just dump. That is not what I want. LLVM module. I guarantee there is a better way to do this than whatever I was doing there. Oh, wait. It's a very common thing for people to look up, it appears. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, okay. That. So LLVM write bitcode to file. Bitcode writer. Actually, that is that what I'm looking for? Write module. Write module. Okay, sure. Maybe I should keep dump IR first and then make a separate write to bitcode. Is this an AST? AST. So let's revert this. This is the same file. This should also be void. And then we go back to compiler. Write to bitcode. Let's actually just put the file name here. Const char star. Turn it into C string. This doesn't do what I need it to. It won't automatically convert, thank God. That's so real. You have to use C string. Ah, I see. Okay. Need to add a pointer here. Right? No. This should be fine. Is there something here? Oh, wait. Why isn't this working? Oh, did I not write there? Is that why? Const? Oh yeah, I guess I should be const, huh? Yeah, okay, that was it. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what do I do here now? This is static. Right, big code to file. Eh? Am I tripping? Oh, 2012. Well, I guess that helps a lot less. Oh wait, yeah, maybe. Okay, we're doing great here. Let me copy this just so I can like read this. So upstream module. Module and then outstream. Oh, I guess that makes sense. LLVM raw FD stream. What is this? Okay, file descriptor. I guess that makes sense. So what is an outstream and what is... Okay, I know what an outstream is. What is a file descriptor? Okay. That makes sense. has colors. Hell yeah. Okay, so this is just the LLVM wrapper for this. I wonder if the tutorial has anything about writing the file. I guess not. Oh lord. Okay, sure. So I guess the answer is no, it does not have anything, which I guess makes sense, because admittedly, you very rarely need to actually just print it straight to a file. Prints the module and see how they do it. Opt, yeah, that. Sure. Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to do this the hard way, which fair enough. Let's give this a try. Reading, writing, seeking. File descriptor, outstream. File name? Is that... What does this take? Well, we'll figure it out, I guess. We'll see what happens. If it breaks, I'm like unlucky. LVM raw FDO stream file name error code. That's all it needs, right? Yeah, I guess that is all it needs, technically. Write bitcode to file. Right, bit. Oh, I need to import the thing. LVM write bitcode writer. I guess that makes sense. Bitcode writer. Also, my laptop is just like burning. Like my fingertips literally hurt when I touch my laptop proper. The keyboard is safe, but the laptop is not. That's So I guess it turns out maybe streaming off of a laptop um and running a whole nother monitor off of it at the same time is a little bit taxing, especially without a steady GPU, but sure. I guess it'd be hot regardless because it's a laptop. Yeah, well, I'll be streaming off my PC when I head back to school. That's a little bit of foreshadowing. That happens in like a week and a half, a weekish. A weekish. A week. So the outstream. We LVM. Right. Leetcode to the file. How old is... Wait, no. What happened to write bitcode to file? What? Oh, I see. This is a static method function. So module yeah. Module and then OS. Unwrap. Also, my sister is playing piano. If you're still listening to the stream, you're obligated to clap for her. Unwrap unique pointer. .get. What is module again here? Unique pointer. It is a unique pointer. Maybe I should read up on these docs real quick. .get. Reference to type const module cannot bind to an R value of type pointer. Oh. Okay, honestly I'm glad it didn't take longer for me to find that. I should also learn what R value versus L value. I don't understand this too well. Oh. Well, this makes it a lot easier to understand. So if it's assignable, then it's an L value. If it's not, then it's an R value. I guess that makes sense. Module get OS, and then what else does this guy do? OS.flush. Do I need to close it? Okay. That should be good then. Yeah, what could go wrong? Let's give it a try. So what else do we want to pass into this? Let's steal something from the... Let's steal everything that we did above, actually. 4 plus 5. F bar A, foo A 4.0 plus bar 337. And then next turn cos. Cos 1.234. Sure. Now if we end it. And that's okay. So now kaleidoscope.vc, LLVM dis, kaleidoscope. Now we look at the file. Yes, okay, it works. It works. We're so up. Usually I'd be like, oh yeah, this makes me irrationally happy, but I think I genuinely have reason to be happy. Yeah. So I've officially written my first language front end, I guess, technically, that actually links into LLVM proper. What happened? I guess I can't really call opt on this, but... Okay. What else do I want to get done here? It feels a little bit hasty to jump into JIT and optimizer support for now. Yeah, so this is done. Oh, what the hell? I have the time. I'll add file input. So this shouldn't be that hard in theory. I think I have some idea of how I want to approach it at least. So the first thing is I want to add args here. Int num args chars. Yeah, okay. I remember that correctly. Arg C, arg V. Damn it. Arg C, arg V. Okay. So how do I want this logic to look? If I don't pass in any args, then I want it to just do the normal loop. And if I pass in args, then I want it to process those files into bitcode files. We'll just make it handle 1 for now. So let's just do a quick switch block on this. Void. So we can do run interactive. Oh, I actually spelled that correctly. Nice. And then we can move a lot of this into there. That's fine. Then case 0. Run interactive. Break. Case 1. Then here we want another thing. So run interactive, we have void run file input. It just occurred to me, maybe I should have committed real quick. At least what I had, at least. Let me just make sure it still builds. Okay. Implement LLVM IR dump. Let's redo all the changes. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I don't know of it yet. If you know it, feel free to let me know. If you're watching this live, feel free to put it in the live chat. If you're watching the VOD, then feel free to put it in the comments. And then real quick, we'll just handle default. We print tested error. Error. Too many args. Then we return 1. Return value 0. Okay, 1 or higher is failure. Exit success, exit failure. Those are things? Okay, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, we can just return 1 here. How much of this can we steal? Can definitely steal this stuff. I think we might need to change this stuff out though. Or we will need to change this out. So we definitely need initialize module. We don't need dump IR anymore, that's for sure. We need to write to bitcode. And then what else do we need to do? Yeah, I don't think, maybe we need to prime this. We probably need a new parser function of some sort. Let's put this here, and then we can parser dot. What would we call this? Just like parse file, I guess. I don't really know what the file is supposed to look like yet. We'll just preemptively do this. Then we can get rid of these two even. So now we need to figure out how to make parse file a thing. Oh, we should probably pass in the file name. Wait, this is not it. In file name. We should probably change this out. Hey man, what's up? I don't like in file name. In file? What do I call this? This naming variables thing is surprisingly my largest issue, it feels like, just in general. In file name. In file name. That's satisfactory enough for me. Open file? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do it here, or do I want to do it in the thing? Should probably open it here. It's probably the more proper way to separate concerns. I'll figure out how to do this at a later point in time. For now, I want to at least get this templated out. In file. I want that for sure. I should probably pass in argv1 0 1. Wait. Is rc ever 0? It can be 0. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we do want this to be 1. This needs to be 2. This needs to be 1. We can include 0 here. Is there a better way to do this? Oh, that is a thing. Okay. Or like, I guess this is a thing. I guess there isn't a better way to do it, huh? Okay. This might be the least gross way to go about this. I need to figure out what the file format should be here. Okay. I wonder if I can just refactor a stream in the parser. Where does this live? This is where this lives. It's a little bit unwieldy. There has to be a better way. What that better way is, I can't really think of off the top of my head, but I'll figure it out at some point. Let's see what the Lexer has for get token. Get char. From stood in. What do I want to do here? Does it do anything here? Action script. Yeah, I guess it is quite interesting that you can just do so many things with LLVM. I guess like I've always thought about it just in terms of like the mainstream general purpose languages, but there is just so much it can do. I guess this is probably a good pile to read at some point. It's not a fixed target. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I assume some of this is also resolved by the existence of MLIR as well. User driven, that makes sense. That makes sense. Dumb code generator. Okay, interesting. I suppose that makes a decent amount of sense to me. Is there a way to There has to be an alternative to git char. Oh, okay. Maybe I should just add a thing to propagate propagate whatever stream is called forward. So I guess we can get C. So currently we want stood in. Is this valid code? Okay, it is valid code at least. We can change get to cure. This makes sense. Let's see, what else can we do? I could probably just make it pass it down from the parser, or I could just make it in the constructor. Actually, that seems like a way better idea. Yeah, we can do it here. Let's add it in the header first, actually. It'd be down here. File, start in stream. And then we'd need to pass it in here, actually. Well, in stream. And we need to change it here. Can do the fancy little thing here. Out C in. Stood in stream. Yeah, okay. So now the constructor picks an in stream for it. So I guess we can make sure it still works by putting it in here. Stood in. I think that should work. Or here we wouldn't want stood in, but we can just comment this out for now. We need to replace this one though. So let's rebuild it and then let's try it again. Where is the test stuff? Let's just do xturn and coast x. Okay. And that works. Okay, nice. So, what else do we need to do now? I guess we can uncomment this mess, I guess. Should probably paste over this again. And this should not be stood in. There's probably a better way to go about this, huh? So we can parse input, I guess. Parse stream, I don't know. Why is the C file caps? Why is... Why is C file all caps? Yeah, this is just genuinely... Oh, it's a macro. Oh, crap. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess this will probably be a task for next time then. It's been like 2 hours and I should probably get dinner before I starve. So, yeah. I will leave this here. I should probably make this location make a little bit more sense. File parser. And yeah, this will just error for now, which is unfortunate, but I will deal with it when the time comes. Yeah, so that's that. Actually, what changes did I make? Just that? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here for now, because as I said before, I am quite hungry. Yeah, thank you all for tuning into the stream. The support has been way more than I ever expected, just starting streaming even like a week ago. If you're new here, make sure you like the VOD and sub to my channel. After I eat, I'll schedule tomorrow's stream, which should be around the same time. It should be like 5 PST. If you know anyone that can refer me anywhere, I guess pass my information along. And yeah, thank you all for being here. Take care. Take it easy.